Hey guys, it's Ivory. Welcome to my channel. So today I am doing another wear test. These are actually one of my favorites to film. I've done like 6 of these in the past. I link all of them in the description box below, so if you want to check out my other wear tests, go ahead. I'm going to be reviewing the Makeup Revolution Define and Conceal Full Coverage Foundation. I am a huge fan of the concealer, so when I saw that they came out with a full coverage foundation, I was like, oh my god, I have to buy it. So that is what we're going to be reviewing today. For those of you that don't know, I have very oily and acne prone skin, so my wear tests are often catered to people with similar skin types. Before we get into the video, be sure to subscribe if you haven't already. I post new videos every Wednesday and Sunday and post occasional bonus videos throughout the week. So if you want to see a wear test of this foundation, then please keep on watching. Okay, so I have already prepped, primed, and powdered, so we're gonna jump right into it. I got this in the shade F8, and I went to Ulta to get the original stick foundation, and this is also in the shade F8, so I wanted to compare it because right now this is not at Ulta. It will be soon, but if you want to order it online, I just wanted to compare it so to see if there is a difference. Okay, so over here we have the liquid foundation, and this is the stick foundation. As you can see, this one is darker, and I feel like the undertone is actually a little different too. Like this looks kind of peachier, and then this one looks like warmer. So yeah, they're not exactly the same. So if you have the stick foundation and you think that you're going to be an exact match in the liquid foundation, you could be wrong. I have not worn this, but I swatched it on my face the day that I got this, and let me tell you, the coverage from just one swipe, I'm excited to show you. Are you ready? Do you see that? Do you see that? I know you see it. I know you see it. So on this side, I'm going to be using a brush, and then on this side, I'm going to use a sponge just to see how the finish and application looks with 2 different types of techniques. So I'm just gonna swirl this in. This is a clean brush. I cleaned it specifically for this day. Okay, so this is 1 coat of the foundation. I don't think I added too much, but that's because I like to add a second layer to see if it's buildable. So right now it's just like medium coverage. I can still see some imperfections, that's okay. We're gonna move on to this side. This foundation retails for $12 and has 0.8 fluid ounces, which isn't too bad. The standard's usually 1, but it's not off by much. Some people think that having a doe foot is like unsanitary, but I personally don't care. I don't mind having a doe foot as my applicator, and I actually kind of like it because then I don't have to put it on like a glass plate or on like the back of my hand and then apply it. Like I could just go straight into my face. Okay, so this is 1 coat using the beauty sponge, and surprisingly, I actually prefer it over the brush, which is unusual because typically with liquid foundations, I prefer using a brush. The only time that a sponge usually looks better than a brush for me is when I use a stick foundation. So this is a surprise. So I'm gonna go ahead and add another layer using a sponge for both sides now that I know that I prefer using a sponge. If anyone is wondering my other shades from like different foundations, I am in Estee Lauder Double Wear Tawny / Cashew. I'm in that range. And for the Maybelline Superstay, I am in Natural Beige / Sun Beige. So if you're in between that range, then I think F8 is a good match for you, because this is a pretty good match for me. Okay, so that is another coat using just the sponge. I'd say it's medium full right now, but leaning more towards full. This is pretty good. It sets down matte, and I haven't even powdered yet. Like this already looks like I set it down. Like when I touch it, it's not even like tacky. It's very smooth on my face. It's not clinging in weird spots. Yeah, this looks really good. I also went ahead and got the new concealer that's in the supersize version, and I'm so excited about that because the original, I love the original concealer, and I never said it out loud, but in my head I thought I finished this really quickly and I wish they made a bigger version. And they did. The original has 0.14 fluid ounces and the new one has 0.45 fluid ounces, so you get quite a bit more. I originally got the shade C8, but I felt that looked too much like my foundation. They're not an exact match. Just because the number 8 is the same doesn't mean that the concealer and the foundation is the same. I got the shade 6.5 this time, and it is way too light. So I actually have to exchange it for a darker one, maybe a 7 this time, because this is a little too dark, just slightly. And this is way too light. Okay, so my foundation's pretty much done, so I'm gonna do the rest of my face off of camera. I'm actually reviewing this eyeshadow palette. It is the Morphe x Jaclyn Hill eyeshadow palette. I did one review using the Bling Boss, and today I'm going in with Dark Magic and reviewing that. By the time this video goes up, I think that review for Bling Boss should be up. If not, it should be up shortly. So yeah, that is what I am going to be filming. So I will do that and then I will be right back. All right, we are back. Makeup glided on just fine with this foundation. I had no problems, no complications. My concealer mixed in just fine with the foundation. Everything blended seamlessly. So I'm very excited. I hope that this lasts. If this foundation doesn't work out for me while I'm editing this video, I'm going to be violently crying. So that is it for the first impressions part. So I'm gonna go on about my day. I think I'm gonna stay indoors because it is raining outside, so there's really nothing to do. And I have no car today. My husband took my car because his is at the shop getting repaired, so I really can't go anywhere. So I'm gonna stay home and kind of just chill out. It's a relaxed type of day. So I will be back. Okay, so it is the 6.5 hour mark, and honestly, if I didn't say that out loud, I don't think you guys would be able to tell, because this foundation looks amazing. The only thing that I noticed is there is a tiny crack right here, and it always happens to every foundation that I have. No matter what I do, every single foundation always settles right here. So I'm just gonna buff that out real quick, and voila, it's brand new. Nothing else is different. I am still matte, I am shine free, everything, it looks great. I'm gonna go ahead and get some blotting sheets just because I don't know if I don't think I've ever been this matte ever. Okay, so I did produce some oil. Totally normal, totally expected. Even with blotting, the foundation has stayed put. Like sometimes on my nose, it'll be splotchy because the foundation has transferred on my blotting sheets. But even though like there is a little bit of transfer, it is still smooth and is full coverage. This is not settling into my fine lines. This foundation also doesn't feel cakey at all. Like I went on about my day and I really just forgot that I'm wearing makeup. It's so lightweight. You do not need a lot to get a full coverage base. So that is the update. I want to keep this really brief and give my final thoughts at the end. So right now, like I said, it's the 6.5 hour mark. This looks pretty great. I'm going to keep this on for maybe like 3 more hours, 4 more hours. I don't know. I really can't tell you. But I will be back to give my final thoughts. Okay, so it is officially the 12-hour mark. I've actually had this on for more than 12 hours. It's more like 12 and a half. I was super busy today. I was editing, I was cleaning, and I finally got my car back, and then I took my dog to dog school. That's right. Willow goes to dog school. She's 2.5 and she still goes. She's just so excited to go, and every single time I tell her that we're going to school, she just gets so happy. So she technically doesn't really need to go. She knows everything and she's very well behaved, but she just loves going. So I still take her, and surprisingly in that class today was super hot, so I was very sweaty. From afar it doesn't look too bad, but up close there's quite a bit of separation on my nose. It stayed together on my forehead, but it is collecting in my fine lines. There is no more foundation on my chin and my upper lip area. I thought it looked really great for the 6-hour mark, and now it doesn't look as great at the 12.5. It does not say how long this was supposed to last, so I don't really know when it went bad. It's very hard to tell because I wasn't paying attention to it, but I want to say it looked good at the 6-hour mark, so probably around the 8-10 hour mark is when it started to look like meh. I wanted to get a little closer so you guys can see. Before you saw this was full coverage, and now you can see right through. Same thing with my upper lip. That is just all my skin peeking through. Yeah, up close it's not too great. I do not typically leave my foundations on this long. I typically leave them on for about 8 to 10 hours. So because of that, I'm not gonna completely write off this foundation. I'm gonna experiment with it. I wanna try mixing it with a couple of my my other favorite foundations. Yeah, it's not superb at 12 hours, but I'm still hopeful about this one. I really want this one to work. Okay, so let's do like a quick recap. Overall, I think it's very full coverage, looks better with a sponge versus a brush. It's very affordable. I do like the applicator and just the packaging in general. And this is like glass, like this feels very luxurious. If you have the stick foundation of Makeup Revolution, the shades that you have may not exactly correlate with the new foundations that I just reviewed. I think this looked really great for 6 hours, probably around 8 hours as well. Maybe around the 10 mark, take it off because it doesn't look super great right now, which makes me really sad because I was super excited about this foundation. Like, I have to learn not to get my hopes up about foundations. I get so excited and then they're like full coverage and they promise all these things and they look great at first and then the hours go by and then I'm just like weeping in the mirror because it's not lasting the way I want it to last. Okay guys, so that is it for this review. I think the next foundation wear tests are going to be the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Matte, which I already know and love, but I want you guys to see it, and the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Foundation. That one I have not tried yet, so I'm excited about it. Nope, I shouldn't be excited about it. It's whatever. I don't even care. If it works, it works. If it don't, I got a ton of other great ones that don't do me dirty. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please comment down below what other types of videos you'd like to see from me, and I will see you in my next one. Bye.